So hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we are at La Roque Saint Christophe. So the short version of a very long story is that in these mountains people used to live inside these mountains, and we are going to visit and see how they live. So obviously they have a guard here protecting the entrance to the doorway to the pass. So living on this area where these stones is inside, people has been living in here for 55,000 years. Like, let me rephrase it. People has been living in here since 55 years ago, 55,000 years ago, before like the official Jesus Christ, basically. And this is the construction of how the house actually looks like. I think this must be like the cooking area or the sleeping area, depends how you see it. But with this, I would say it's a sleeping area, and then the living room, and then you have this side, which is the cooking area. So any of you guys are wondering, so these holes here, we will see a lot of these holes. People are putting like wooden planks on here, then they will be storing, it will be protruding out basically, and then they'll be putting like vase, like dried food or like food and cutleries and everything on this wooden stuff. That's why you will see a lot of like holes around. And this hole here is interesting. So this is the barn, and if you see a lot of these small things like ropes tied up, it's actually to tie up like animals, because there's a lot of attacks on the animals. And total in here for the ropes, there are 15 ropes in here. And now we're going to be hiking up these stairs. So this particular area is interesting. So right here, right behind me, it is where the butcher shop is basically. So this whole area, small section, is until this entrance to this section is the butcher, and this table here was used to cut meat basically, and there was a sink around here. Then we come into this particular room, which is called the drying room. So basically after they cut, we have all these ropes. They hang the meat up to dry, because in those days they don't have fridge. So a lot of the meat are cured. So this is the drying room. So this, I forgot the word that is used, but this is to be to store like precious things. The door is missing, but you can see the inner wall right here. It's totally different. But yeah, this is how they stored like precious things in those days. So we are continue to walk, and now we're entering the main house. Not exactly, but this is the walkway to the main house. So this is a small section of the houses. So this is after the tunnel that we just walked past. So the tunnel is somewhere here, and we just walked past just now. And now this is this small section here, and we will be heading to the church somewhere around this side. What is amazing, so all the houses are built like under this rock, and it helps to avoid like heavy rain, storms, and all the heavy snow that is like falling during winter and like early spring. One interesting part about this river. So when we came out from there, and I didn't mention it, so when we came out of the tunnel, it did say that when you look into the river in the 70s, it's so clear that it's like looking into the mirror of yourself, and now it's like filled with mud. So now we are standing in the church. So the church is not very big actually. I will show it to you. So basically the church is from this wall here, the stone here where this column is. So this whole section to this side of the wall is like closed, and it comes all the way out. So this is the church. So the only ones that remain is the seats, like the, what do you call it, the worship station. Then that's where the priest stand, I suppose. Then you have where you light the candles, and that's supposed to be where the bread and wine is. So something interesting about here. So these holes, these 3 holes here are actually tombs where they used to bury people. So you have one here, one here, one here, there's one more there. I'm trying to avoid stepping over on it because people will hurt me. And there's one more here. And when you look from the top here, I don't know whether you guys can see it. So it is like the sign of the cross basically. If you can see that the line coming down, then from this side to this side. So you guys can see it. I'm gonna zoom in. So I'm gonna point it to you guys right here. You see the hole right there that I'm pointing at? So that right there is where people used to like go there, and they used to like blow the horn for signaling. So the horn right now is up right at this radio station. When you blow it, all these areas, and we are here, I think, like all these places, you can hear it, and it lasts for like 6 minutes. And this experiment, I lost paradise. So we're here. This experiment was tested in 1963 by 22 people that was placed inside that watch hole to see how it sounds like. So we are coming towards the work site. So this particular work site, there's one here, and there's one more after. These are the work sites that helped to like build 80 cathedrals between the years 1050 to 1350, and these are the tools that help them like build the 80 cathedrals through the years. And it can tell, I'm trying not to fall, that's the only reason why I'm going so slow, but you can tell how advanced they are from like 1 million years ago to like they totally vanish, like less than, plus the recent ones, the recent people living here is less than 1000 years ago. So this is the forge in French is La Forge, actually not like the name La Forge from the what is the movie again, Star Trek. So this place, look at that, that is to blow arrow into the fire. So this is where the fire is. This place is to create swords and armories for the people, and especially the Lord of the Manor's arms and weapons. This one you guys are gonna laugh at. So this is the treadmill, obviously, but it is also called the squirrel cage, but it is the human squirrel cage. So you can either put one, here you see, you can either put one or like 10 people in it. They're gonna run round and round, and it to help that lower down and to bring up heavy loads. So this is where they keep all the animals. You have the horse saddles, then you have the pitchfork to deal with food. That is for the pail of water. I don't know what that is for. And that is to strip up the any leftovers. So right on this land used to be flat out, and not exactly like flat out, but it's like, yeah, it's like flat enough that these stairs right here, it is leading into one of the house that is um, from this like end of this like cliff here, so it goes out and it goes down, and then after that there's a flat area right here to walk on. So one fact about these stairs, so these stairs right here, there is 32 steps, and it leads up all the way up to the top right here, somewhere up there, and they have discovered catapults up there. So what they do is that they will fling like stones at the enemies who comes from that direction, and to like protect them from the enemies that is coming. They say they have a fortress some here. My English is broken now. Somewhere here, and is protecting them from the attackers. And this is where they keep all the attackers, like in this small dungeon. Shows how cruel people were at that time. And like he is chained up basically on that wrist. I think he's hidden, and he chained him up like that so that he won't escape. We are heading down now. So this should be the mimic of the houses that we see that is no longer available on that end. On the other end, actually. And they have all the arms. Look at this. It's like what we see in the movies. So this is the kitchen. That is where they prepare all the food. Rabbit, duck. Then that is the pot that they cook in. And this is where the fire is. And this is their eating area. So we are going to be hiking down these steep stairs right here. I say steep because they are not very easy to walk on. And then you have another shelter this area. I think it's to chain people up because they have to hook there. The only thing missing is the chain. We came from that way that we went up. So now we're turning right. Oh look, that is a tombstone. It's called the Bronze Age tomb because their skeletons are all bronze. So they were discovered here in the year 1913 by a person named Denis Pironi, who led the first archaeological search on this site. So an adult and an adolescent has been laid on a bed of cinders. This was probably an tertiary or a secondary burial on which the bones had been gathered together. So these bones was from the year 1000 BC, from before Christ. Then you have like other bones right there, which I don't know whether they are human bones or animal bones. But I think due to the earth, that's why their bones are discolored. But I'm not sure whether these are real bones or just like they buried the real bones somewhere else and these are just made for people to look at. These are the hunters and gatherers. The bears are being attacked. How in the world does the bears come up this high anyway? So now we should be arriving in the village of Madeleine, and this is one of the parts where it's like linked to the caveman time as well, which is gonna be interesting to look at. So right here is one of the fortress. They sealed everything off because everything that this whole site is crumbling down. So now we are in the village of Madeleine, and here they call it a village, but it's at a time it's a big loop around the river, and so there's a castle and a few huts, and we're gonna go explore it. So basically this is where they do all the handiwork, like tools, and this is where they put the animals. So we're trying to do it a little bit faster because it's a little bit like the same as the last place. And this is one of the excavation sites. So basically this is the village, the small village basically. And this is the bakery, that is the butcher, and the back is where they store all the meat, bread, and all the wheat, flour, and everything. And now this right here is the grounds of the castle, and we are entering the castle to see what is left of this once very pretty castle. So I believe up here, this is where they dried all the like straws and hay, and after that they rot it up, and this is how they feed the animals. So you still have this musty smell. People sleep up there, and then during the winter they heat this up, so then it'll be warm during the winter. That's why there's a lot of like black soot around. So this is the fireplace, and there's another fireplace right here, and all the family, kids, adults, grandparents all sleep up there. So this is another room right here, but this one don't have a fireplace. Ouch, like the other one. And that is to wash clothes. And animals live in here as well, that's why you have the water container. My hand is so shiny on this side. But oh, there's one fireplace right here. So right around the bench here is where the prehistoric part where we are unable to see it, unfortunately. But yeah, so it's just right after this wall. So this is what the remains of the castle looks like. It's sad that once a pretty castle is all left in ruins, and people can't walk in now because they're trying to preserve it.
Now turn right.
So we are finally at the rooms. We're just heading out after having lunch with people that we know. Oh, there's canoes here. And we're leaving very near to the lake. A very nice lake, to be honest.